Hello Australia, Mitch is away, I'm in charge and the circus has come to town. And what a big show we've got for you tonight. On tonight's show, Eastern influences. Is it the right thing to be taught at schools? Double dipping in relationships. What's the answer? And the millennial generation, what's going wrong when they can't find jobs? All that and so much more on our exciting panel, New Set, I'm excited, is coming up very, very soon.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar in me, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
The circus has come to town and we're being filmed in front of a live studio audience. And now let's meet our first panellist for tonight. Clinton, welcome back.
Mate, good evening. Thank you for having me back. I'm loving the set.
Isn't it fantastic?
Loving your hair even more, though.
Absolutely. New set, new hair.
I'm sitting next to two bombshells
I
tonight.
have to say, blondes do have more
I love
fun.
it. I love
and
it.
talking about blondes, what a lovely blonde I got right next to me. How are you going, Hayli?
Very well, thank you.
How are you enjoying Perth? You've come to Perth?
Yeah, I have. I've newly come over to Perth from the Gold Coast, loving it. Live by the beach. It's good.
Wonderful, fantastic. I've just realised what show you could be. You could be in like the remake of Baywatch.
If only.
Yes.
If only. Wasn't that a classic?
Yes,
Yeah.
from one babe to another. How are you going, Lucy?
Very well, thank you.
Now, just to let the viewers know at home, you're actually dressed in green. You're coming Christmas. It's a bit dark on the
Velvet.
TV, but yes, green velvet. Looks very seductive.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Exactly.
You.
Oh,
Not as nice as your purple.
Oh, exactly. I'm a bit sexually frustrated.
lilac?
It's, well, whatever colour people want to make it, really. And anybody's talking about making it. If you make it up, like you'll hear this bloke each night on the radio after midnight. How you going, John?
Oh, great. I like your hair too. I think it looks fabulous.
Oh, wonderful.
Blonde, beautiful.
We all love a change. All love a change. And talk about a change, let's get right into our first letter. Dear Sweet and Sour, is it appropriate for mindfulness yoga, meditation and breathing exercises to be used in schools? And if so, shouldn't parental permission be sought? My son's primary school introduced a program called Mind Up this year. Aside from a small section in the first school newsletter of the year, no other information was sent to families to talk about the program and its contents. The web address provided gave only vague information. I contacted both the Department of Education in WA and the Minister for Education about the introduction of this program, which has religious bias towards Buddhism. I was informed that this program is endorsed by the Department of Education and in no way religious based. I have told the principal and teachers at my son's school that he is to be directed outside during the breathing exercises and other teachers of the Mind Up program. Yesterday at my daughter's high school, her teacher led a class in meditation to calm them down. After lunch, with the intention of doing something similar every Tuesday after lunch. My daughter excused herself to another room. The class later chose colouring in as their preferred way to calm down. I'm interested to find out how appropriate the panel sees the introduction of these practices that are based on Eastern philosophies, especially when parental approval is not sought. There are many social teachings that school doesn't cover, yet we have these influences creeping in. Helen Bentley, WA, what do you think, John? Is a bit of Buddha bullshit being taught at our schools?
Well, first, panel, just join with me. You see, I think we all feel better for that. I think there's a lot to be said for meditation. It's no electricity, no batteries, no products. It's all working your head. Honestly, though, I'd prefer a school to be teaching mathematics, English, grammar would be very important. The whole idea of teaching ideas at school seems like it's a nice idea, but what if they actually teach you the wrong ideas? If the school would just teach the basics, I'd like to know how to spell, I'd like to be able to do my times tables, I don't know what else they teach you at school because it's hard to stay awake when you're there, but for the students, good for you for doing some study, that's really important. But essentially, mindfulness is a good thing. I don't think it has a religious base, though. I don't think the Buddhists were the ones who invented meditation. I think it was always around. We've always had time to meditate. So now I'm just going to think about it for some more.
Well, what about you, Lucy? You like to meditate? Think should be in schools?
I find meditation a bit scary. You have to sort of reflect on yourself, and it's kind of a horrible process sometimes, spending like 10 minutes by yourself with your eyes shut. And I also think that it shouldn't really be taught in schools. Like, why, like you said, why are they teaching something like meditation? It's like, don't you learn to breathe when you're first born? If you don't in the first 5 minutes, you're dead. You've survived that long, all through primary school. You know, you already know how to breathe. Do you really need lessons on breathing? It's like, what, are they going to give you lessons on going to the bathroom and all the stuff that should have been dealt with before kindergarten was over?
Okay. How about yourself, Hayli? No, that's just one point. I think yoga's all right. It's flexibility and stuff. I mean, if it's naked yoga, I might have an issue with that. But yoga, I think generally.
I think you have to remember these days in school, you've got Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. It's all very fast-paced. There's a lot that goes on. So I think teaching kids to have a coping mechanism, to take peace out, to concentrate on themselves and centre themselves, I think there's no harm in that. I think colouring in is a bit stretching it.
In high school.
I personally hate colouring, and I find it one of the most frustrating things to do. Have you ever
can't
done?
stay in the light?
Yeah, no. Those things are elaborate. They take hours. They piss me off, frankly.
They've got apps for it now.
It would do the opposite for me. But I think that absolutely there is a need to teach kids a coping way to calm down when things get a bit hectic.
Well, Clinton, what about it? What do you think?
Mate, look, I don't really have a problem with the whole meditation thing, to be honest. But at the same time, is it really necessary? Is it necessary? Like when I went to primary school, given there was T-Rexes in the background, but like what happened just going out for lunch, playing marbles, like hanging on the monkey bars, getting back and the teacher telling you to behave, so you behaved? Like why do we have to have meditation and yoga? And it's just getting a little bit out of control, I think. Like, I think it's babying children far too much.
But couldn't it be another physical activity they're doing at school? Because they teach, physical activity. Yoga's quite physical activity.
I don't think it's needed in primary school.
Meditation, calming people down, learning to control life and take.
What about
life
learning to listen to the teacher when they say settle down and shut up?
Well, exactly. That's what the meditation's doing. Yeah,
that's how I had to calm down after lunch. So I don't know. I just think it's babying kids a little bit too much these days, to be honest.
Oh,
Yoga's like a form of PE.
Yes.
That's actually quite hard to do if you do it properly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Nice
yeah.
work, John.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So, Lucy, what's your form of relaxing? What do you like to do? How do you like to relax?
A cocktail,
Yes.
deck
Well,
chair by the
obviously we can't have that at
pool.
schools. We can't have that at schools.
Well,
so.
at school, I think like mathematics was quite relaxing because it
Oh,
just sort of
yeah.
washed
Good
over
for
your
you.
brain and you go into this meditation state.
Because you tune out?
Yeah.
I probably
I think you naturally learn that in
The only
class.
issue here is probably them not getting the parental permission, I think. They probably should be getting that if they're going to be doing that at school.
But is it religious?
I
No, yeah, I
totally
don't think it is. Really?
Why would you want parental permission to teach a kid how to
Absolutely.
breathe? Like, are you that precious?
Yes.
It's not like they're teaching them something controversial. It's just a calming, relaxing technique.
But they already know how to breathe.
Yeah, I know, but
Some
you're
of
not
them shouldn't
teaching-
be breathing.
You're not asking parental permission for something that's controversial, that's going to stir up emotions and stuff. It's just a relaxing technique.
Absolutely. Look, Helen, I needed meditation lessons after reading your bullshit that you wrote in. Quite simply, there's nothing wrong with it. It teaches kids lessons in life to stay calm and live life. That's what you need to do. And talking about living life, here's some of our sponsors living their life.
Getting in touch with Sweet and Sour is easy. Just head to sweetandsour.net.au to send us a letter. And while you're there, why not check out our past episodes? Plus, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And for a behind-the-scenes look at Sweet and Sour, check us out on Instagram.
Welcome back. Now, if you write a letter to us and reread it out, we're going to send you to the movies. And this week's movie is Loving. Thanks to our sponsor of Natalie at NRC Communications. So write us a letter, we read it out, we're going to send you to the movies. Thank you again, Natalie at NRC Communications. Moving right along now to our second letter, Double Jeopardy. Hello panellists, I'm 27 and I'm in love with two women. One is my long-time girlfriend and the other is a woman that I've been seeing for the last 3 months. My girlfriend, who is my childhood sweetheart, has been working on the mines in Queensland and flies in and flies out. She has a well-paid job in admin. She calls me all the time and we have long conversations over the phone. The other woman I met by chance at a party. We started going for coffee as friends and I had even told my girlfriend about her. Lately, things have become more serious between us, to the point where I want to spend all my time with her when my girlfriend is not in town. I realised things had become complicated when I began lying to both of them. So I'm torn between the two and I can't bear to lose either of them. What am I to do here? Is monogamy natural for humans? Kirk, Preston, Victoria, Clinton, what do you think? Is it double dipping the wick?
He's dipping something, and it definitely is his wick, I think. Look, this is a home and away script. This is Kirk from Summer Bay, I'm imagining. What could go wrong with this? Honestly, everything could go wrong, mate. Look, I'm going to answer it in two parts. One, is monogamy natural for humans? I don't think it is. What am I to do here? Stop cheating on your missus. It's actually pretty easy. Like, he is going to be in a world of pain, this bloke. There's 3 lives that are going to be ruined because of his double dipping, as you eloquently said, John.
Exactly. I love that. Double dipping the wick. What do you think, Hayli? Is he double dipping?
Absolutely. I think Kirk is an absolute wanker, and you're not a 5-year-old choosing between which cookie to eat. These are 2 people that have real feelings, and what you're doing is going to affect them long beyond this. You're obviously not in love, or you don't seem like you're in love with your long-term girlfriend. I feel like you've gone more to the friend scene if you're absolutely obsessed with this other girl, want to spend all your time with her. So stop wasting your girlfriend's time. Let her be with someone that loves her and that's going to devote their time, and that's going to be their number one, and put her on the pedestal and treating her like this. You're a piece of work. I hope they both break up with you and you get an STD.
Well, you're obviously read it as I've read it, like the more serious, we're assuming they're sleeping together.
Oh yeah, I'm going to assume that.
He hasn't said it. I'm assuming they're actually having the special cuddles though.
Yes. You'd think so.
Oh yeah, well that's how I've read it.
Yes. Perception is everything. Well, what about yourself, Lucy?
I think that Kirk has put a lot of time into his relationship. It says they were high school sweethearts. So I think he needs to be honest with her, explain how it's got, that it was just a friendship, and then now he's feeling more for it, and go back to his high school sweetheart and go like, I really love you, I've been with you this long, this is something we need to work through. Like, because if he didn't love her, he wouldn't have been with her all those years. But maybe he's getting a little bit bored with her, flying in, flying out.
Yes.
You know, she's 27. Should she really still be working in admin? You know, I think they've got to move on from the high school stuff and keep going.
Is it all right to change it up a little bit? I mean, obviously a conversation needs to occur, but changing it up where, as you said, potentially the relationship for a period of years, if it's the only person he's known since high school, it may be getting a tad bit boring. There's nothing wrong if everybody's agreeable with changing things up.
Well, I think as well, like love, long-term love, is about going through all that stuff and learning that stuff about the other person and where they want to be and what they want to explore. And then that's what being a couple's about, like working through that stuff together and working out if you guys want to go in that direction or not, you know. But first of all, he's got to be honest with his long-term girlfriend and say, this is what's happened, tell her how far it's gone or how he's been feeling, and then hope that she's mature enough to work through that with him.
Well, what about John? I can imagine in the slot that you've got on radio, there's been Heartbreak City quite a lot of times.
Yes.
Any advice?
Well, I think there's been 2 particular. I like honesty, but also if everyone's agreeable. And I don't think he's got that. It says here, he says, I'm lying to both of them. That's the number one thing. You cannot lie. He also says coffee. Uh-oh, that's danger. And I'm alarmed that he said his girlfriend's got a well-paid job. Is that his focus, that there's money? No wonder he can't decide who. I actually think he's living a dream. I think he thinks he's Captain Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. I think he should whip out his communicator and beam on out of there because he's going to be in trouble.
Okay, so I asked the panel this. Has anybody been in a relationship and then they've met somebody else and suddenly they think, well, that relationship they're in isn't quite as sweet as what it once was?
I think it's happened to us all if we're honest. I think it absolutely has happened to us all. And some of us, not naming names anybody, might have been guilty of doing this similar thing. I'm not talking about myself here, of
He's
course.
clearly having an affair. Like, when is that okay?
Completely having an affair.
When is
completely
that
having
all
an affair.
right?
I think
It's
it's
never
not an
okay.
affair.
It's
No,
never.
I'm making the assumption it's going for 3 months.
Oh, thank you.
We've
many
read
coffees
coffee
you
as
having?
sex. We've read coffee as sex,
Definitely.
which I think is correct.
Well, although he has told his high school sweetheart about the other woman. So the high school sweetheart knows that there's another woman on the
He
side.
hasn't told her the whole truth.
No. He's
Part
lying.
truth is not truth.
You can't lie. It's a bad thing to lie.
It's still lying by omission.
Yes, no, I have to agree, Kirk. You need to come out and be honest to both the women. Look, I'm all about free loving. I believe we should have a free loving society as long as everybody is agreeable. Whatever floats your boat, but everybody must be agreeable. You're harming everybody here, including yourself. Be honest, be open. If you want a menage a trois, have a chat. If it's not your girlfriend's thing, maybe it's time to move on. If you're bored, it's time to move on. But do not lie. Do not injure people's, harm people's emotions. Very critical, Kurt. Best of luck. Tell the truth. And talking about truth, we've got wonderful, truthful sponsors that we've got tonight, and we'll be right back after their messages.
I often get sorry for Kate.
I didn't prepare an outro, so I just thought I'd show you my monkey face.
Hello and welcome back. Let's get straight into our final letter for tonight. Dear panel and friends, my son is nearly 21, old enough to look after himself. I worry for him because, for a start, he consistently dresses inappropriately, sometimes very colourful and flamboyantly. Other times, his clothes look dirty and he has holes in his trousers. It's almost like his clothes are reflective of his huge mood swings. I love him and he's a very handsome boy. But if he keeps going like this, I'm concerned he'll never get a stable job or a steady girlfriend. He's still a student at uni and always talks about human rights. He's currently fixed on the gay and lesbian rights because of the ongoing gay marriage debacle. He won't listen to me anymore and he is showing less and less respect for his elders. I don't think he wears underwear anymore. Do you think he could be gay? Well, because he doesn't wear underwear, absolutely. And his erratic dressing and behaviour is him dealing with his sexuality. What else could this behaviour mean? And what should I do? I'm at a total loss here. Paul from Prospect in South Australia. Lucy! Does wearing no underwear make you gay?
I wouldn't go that far, but I am horrified for you, Paul. Like, what have you taught your son? He's in university, you got him into university, you're probably paying for him to go to university, but you haven't bought him underwear. Like, is this something against, like, his anti-Chinese slaves making undies?
I think he
why?
has brought him underwear, but his son's not wearing the underwear. He likes freewheeling. Free balling? Is it free balling? Free balling.
Commando.
Yeah, commando, that's the word I'm after.
Like, it's okay on the weekend, right? But not every day
Yes.
in, like, your lectures at
Yes.
uni. When you're talking about human rights, you'll just look like riffraff on the street, won't you?
Yeah, what do you think, John?
Well, I like to relax. I think it's good that he can wear the clothes that he feels comfortable wearing, and he is probably trying to find out who he is, and he might have some unusual fashion statements. I think I've had some crazy fashion statements as I was maturing, and I can't wait for that to finish finally happening so I can work it out. He's discovering who he is, and that's okay. How he dresses will be a reflection on his moods. Maybe it's handy that you can actually work out what his mood is by what he's wearing, so you know when it's a good time to talk to him. But if all else fails, blame the parents.
So just obviously with your line of work, do you ever just rock up in your PJs to the radio
Once
station?
I actually wore a gorilla suit, and I'd been to a fancy dress party, which is the story I was sharing, and I had the best time on air. I just had so much fun in my monkey suit. Yeah, it does. The clothing do reflect the way you are.
There we go, wonderful. Moving right along now, Clinton.
Well, look, the first thing I actually want to know here is how long did it take Paul to do this letter with the ink and the quill? Like, because he's honestly written it in 1917. Like, some of these comments are appalling. Mate, you need to get into the 21st century or whichever century you're in. But look, I just shake my head at everything about this. He almost answers himself in the first paragraph or the first sentence. My son is nearly 21, old enough to look after himself. Exactly, mate. He's old enough to look after himself. He's old enough to do exactly what he wants with his life. And then a bit later on, the second paragraph, I love him. Excellent. That's your letter answered, mate. You love him. Your son is 21 and he's old enough to look after himself. Who cares he doesn't wear jocks, or that he might be wearing different clothes here and there, or you think he's picking up on his mood? I mean, look, it's just a ridiculous letter from a very out of touch dad, I think.
What about yourself, Hayli?
Yeah, I'm along the same lines. I think that he's just outdated. Like, you sound like you're apologising for your son having a personality.
Exactly.
You know, do you want someone that's going to wear brown every day and clock in 9 to 5 and hate his life and go through midlife crisis? At least the kid is taking an interest in current affairs. At least he's learning about things that are important to human rights. And at least it sounds like he's a smart kid that's trying to just simply express himself, and you're his father. And if he's gay, so what? Does it change the fact that you're his father? That you watched him grow up and you love him? No. So why does any of this matter?
That's the biggest issue.
up.
I find it quite disturbing that there is still people, and we know there are, still people out here like Paul that can think that someone's gay because they're wearing colourful and flamboyant clothes.
And
like,
I
are you
don't
serious?
wear underwear and I'm not gay, so get
Well,
over
you know,
it.
the other thing is he's quite concerned that his son's fixed on the whole gay and lesbian rights because of the marriage debacle. So, and then he links, then he talks about his son not wearing any underwear as if that's some sort of code for, hey, Dad, I'm gay. Let me just pop down to the local glory hole or something like that. I mean, Paul, honestly, you've got to get with the times. You've got to get with the times. I think there's nothing wrong with a young person dressing flamboyantly. I mean, people may say my blonde hair is a bit flamboyant.
It is pretty crazy.
Absolutely.
We need to say it to your face, John.
That's the best time to talk about someone behind the face.
Well,
Time for an underwear check.
yeah, well, don't worry about that. I like to be a bit free willing.
It's great though, isn't it, to wear, you know, clothes that show how you feel like. When you go to a party, you get dressed up, you feel good about
Exactly. Oh, and that's the
yourself.
thing. Like, he's a 21-year-old uni student. Like, I work at UWA. I see everything walk past my office door every day. They're just expressing themselves, finding out who they are.
Exactly.
Maybe he can't afford clothes, he's spending on books. Who knows?
21-year-olds
21,
don't
who
have the money to go
cares?
shopping all the time. They're living off
Absolutely.
goon and 2-minute noodles.
Well,
Some of
maybe.
us are still doing that at 38 as well.
Well, see, the other thing is as well, Paul. You may be a bit of a dorky dad, and maybe the underwear that you're buying for your son is a bit disgusting and not in trend
point.
because you know briefs now is. I tell you when you're going home with somebody and you take them off, you want to make sure you got good stuff on. Maybe you're not giving him the brand underwear, so you just go out there and get a nice brand of underwear and see if that changes.
That could be the
It's a bit of
solution.
a stretch.
Yeah.
No underwear to gay. Like, come on.
I know.
Yeah,
That's,
right.
Maybe I'm stretch. Maybe that. I think I'm making that stretch. That he's saying no underwear equals gay.
Well, he's mentioned it.
Yes, absolutely. And then mention the whole gay marriage thing. Just very quickly around the panel. Should gay marriage come in?
100%.
Absolutely.
100
Yes, 100%.
million
Yes,
Absolutely.
Lucy.
Yes, I think marriage should go out though.
Oh, okay. Not call it marriage.
Wow.
Okay. What about yourself, John?
Well, I think it's all about love. Any conversation that talks
Now,
about love.
Very quickly, talk about love. We need to find a letter. Love. We need to find a letter
Which
we love.
one?
Clinton.
I don't love this letter, but I want to give the sunnies to Paul.
Yep, Paul. Okay. Yes.
I'm going to change.
Quick. Yes.
Oh, no,
one.
I'll go three. I'll go three.
Three,
All
yep.
right.
Letter 2.
Letter 2.
Letter 1.
Letter 1. I'm going letter 1. I'm the judge, jury, and executioner. It's letter 1. Thank you very much. We're going to help you. We're going to help you meditate. Meditate, Helen. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, panel. It's been a blast. Thank you very much.
Sweet and sour.
Wonderful.
little
Fantastic.
sugar.
There we go.
I was going to change
Yes.
to one, and then I
do
was
whatever you
like,
want.
oh, no, that.
Oh, exactly.
Pressure got you.
Exactly.
I know,
Exactly.
okay.
But you may.